Scotland the Brave. The days that Scotland used to have a very good national team, and we actually still do have very good players. Well, people wonder why the game in Scotland isn't progressing very well. Probably because of the lack of facilities in local parks now. This is like a local park, one of the only places that kids can play football. And you have one set of about 7 or 8 feet from the fence, which is smaller than the goals. The fence is right here. And there's another set of goals. Well, you just have it just going back to some kind of hut or something like that. And that's the local football pitch. The Scottish national team isn't doing very well because probably kids are not getting the facilities these days to play in. And constantly they're asking, there's basically, you can see the next field here, and the next field is completely empty. They can turn that into like 5-a-side pitches, 11-a-side pitches or anything, really. You could have probably about 3 11-a-side pitches in there next door, but they're not doing anything with it. What are they going to do with it, exactly? So, in Scotland, the Scottish managers have always had controversies with some of the best players, and some of the best players obviously have got ego issues, and sometimes they elect themselves out of being chosen, like Duncan Ferguson. He's actually one of the most expensive Scottish footballer at one time, and he wasn't getting picked for Scotland. And then you've also got Chris Boyd, who's the Premier League's all-time highest scorer, struggles to get a game for Scotland. You did have Ali McCoist and Mo Johnston, a very successful striking partnership, and McCoist was overlooked in Italia 90, I think it was. There's just a string of incidents with the Scottish team. Really does seem to be the strikers that are sort of controversial. One Scotland striker still that plays down in the Premiership. I think the last Scotland manager struggled to get hold of him. It was some strange scenario that he was calling him up to play for Scotland, and I think he was ignoring his phone call or some crazy thing like that. I'm not sure exactly. He didn't want to play for the manager or whatever it was. Maybe sometimes it's the players that can be quite egotistical, but I think in general the leadership in Scottish football, with regards to Scotland managers and the Scottish team, has been very, very weak indeed. There's nobody really since Jock Stein who's actually shown. Obviously Walter Smith had a successful stint as Scotland manager. I do think that Alex McLeish is a very talented manager as well. I think he's up there with some of the best present Scottish managers today. But the actual leadership of the SFA with regards to Scottish football now. Obviously, we've seen Rangers go down to the 3rd Division, which is unprecedented. It's not actually happened to any other team. I think even Livingston, I'm not sure if they were demoted down to the bottom rung of Scottish football. I think they were demoted 1 division and fined or something like that. But the SFA don't have the the best interests of the Scottish teams at heart when they make decisions. Okay, they like to see themselves as having integrity and all that stuff, but there never seems to be any rules in place. Certainly when Celtic were close to liquidation back in the early 90s, there was no rules in place to actually fine them, and nothing was really done to them. And then they finally put laws in place, and now you're talking about several Scottish clubs now been hitting the wall, big Scottish clubs, and there's just no structure within Scottish football. Not only for the finance for basically what's financially the best for the clubs, which I do tend to think that just generally probably a three division leagues would be the best. Just increase the number of teams in these leagues, decrease the number of times they play each other, maybe like a conference league like they have in England. They always tend to want to copy England anyway in a lot of things. So let's just be original. Let's just think from scratch. You know, the Scots are always as good at inventors and different things, but it seems to be that all of these mental attributes are just simply lost within the SFA today. And it just means that, you know, unnecessarily that there's big clubs going to the wall. You might call it through mismanagement, but it's basically the SFA are not promoting a good, healthy Scottish game today. That's what I'd definitely argue. Let's say, for example, 3 divisions of 16, you know, 2 up and 2 down, and let's say one place whereby you have at least, let's say, a couple of playoff matches for that final place. I think that would generate a bit of excitement towards the end of the season, and it's not the chaos that we're used to now the past few years, where you've got, I think, the top 6 playing each other once, just right at the end, which makes no sense, no logical sense whatsoever. It's not fair on certain clubs that have to play, for example, away from home twice and at home once, or some nonsensical thing like that. Scottish football have really got to restructure itself in a better way, which is going to benefit the game itself, and it's also going to benefit financially the actual clubs in Scottish football. So I really hope that if this makes sense to a lot of Scottish football fans, that you can like this video, definitely promote the ideas in this video, and put a bit of pressure on the SFA to actually lead the game rather than just continually penalise clubs for different things, and basically unfairly manage Scottish football. I don't believe they've truly been managing Scottish football now for literally a long time. Okay, thanks for listening.